So after the farmer's market, how
Yeah.
did you then end up building this space and developing it?
Again, I can't take any credit. I feel like our community has really worked with us to say, like, this is what our community needs and this is what we want. So even at the farmer's market, we were really expanding the work that we were doing. We thought we would just kind of just focus on this like interesting preservation idea behind meat. And my customers were like, gosh, can't you do pork chops? Can't you do smoked hams? Can't you do bacon? So we started really branching out and trying to be responsive to what our community was asking for. And we felt like at that time what they were asking us for is like, we want to eat local. We want to eat well-raised animals like you guys do on non-GMO grains, pasture raised, all those things we're looking for. But it'd be super good if you could hook us up and make it easier for us. And I also have people coming to me and saying, you know, I work on the weekends. Like, this is the only way I have access, like, to local goods. So we, at that point...
So they couldn't go to the farmer's market.
Yeah, because they're working and stuff. So there's, at that point, you have some access issues. And again, we felt kind of responsible, like, we have a way maybe at this point to go ahead and provide an avenue for people to get meat. So there was a small space for rent over here in Ithaca. It was in this building right across from the farmer's market. It was tiny. It was a coffee shop drive-through, actually.
Right, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't have the revenue to launch a full-on business. You know, again, there's not a lot of margin in farming, you know. So we actually, during that time, ran a drive-through coffee business and had a small meat case out of the front, and the coffee paid the overhead, so we had a space to sell meat to people.
Coffee's more profitable than pork.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. People don't place a lot of value, or our society traditionally doesn't place a lot of value on meat or even food. You know what I mean? Value-added products, they're happy to pay a $4 latte for, but there's not a lot of value placed on food. I remember once at the farmer's market, they sell value-added things like sandwiches and falafels, and somebody gave me a hard time because my 4 sausages were $9, but then they went, which they could have gotten 4 meals out of, but then I saw them immediately walk over and buy a falafel for $6.75. So anyway, so we had this like coffee shop. We started selling meat there, and just the space opened up over here that we're currently in right now. And we had a line out the door at our little shop, and so we decided at that point to make the national transition and kind of move into this space over here. Again, just always like listening to what our community wants and doing our best to meet that.
So just to describe the space we're in, which you may not be able to see all of, there are refrigerators over here and meat cases and so forth over here. It looks like a kind of butcher shop area, which we will get some footage of. But then behind us right here is not product placement exactly, but a bunch of products that are from Ithaca or pretty close to Ithaca, so maybe, I don't know, a few hundred miles maximum. And so some of these people are now selling here, and you're allowing them to sell, and some of the vegetables over here too?
Yeah. So it's been a pretty exciting. I had a customer ask me a couple years ago, like, Heather, it'd be super awesome if you had like potatoes and onions so I can get my meat and have a dinner and stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I can make that happen. And that part's just grown. It's just really, it's been nice for people to have one-stop shopping. On the other side, it's been really great for my farmer friends to have access to retail. Not a lot of stores will buy people in, especially in the small quantities I do. Like, I write a lot of $27 checks every week to stuff I buy in. But so it's a little logistically challenging. I understand why larger grocery stores don't do that. But we're really proud that we have local dairy options, like local vegetables, local fruits, you know, meats. We have a really neat freezer case back here for stuff that we can't cut fresh every week. I have an avenue for some rabbit and goat. Again, everything in here has to meet our protocol, which is locally raised, pasture raised, no chemicals, hormones, GMO-free feeds. And I have a sheep farmer and lamb farmer that I work with, and she had done the farmer's market for years and years and years, and she finally just quit going to farmer's market because she could sell everything here. And that was huge for her. I mean, she's getting into her 50s. You know, there's a lot of work to still do on the farm, and for her, as a farmer, there wasn't a lot of joy in going to the farmer's market. You know, people don't really think about this sometimes, as if you're a farmer like us at small scale, we don't have access to a lot of distribution systems or sales avenues. So it's hard to ask a farmer to be really good at farming and producing food and taking those financial risks, and to be good at marketing in it and working with customers. Like, that's a lot of skill sets you're asking one person to be able to be good at.
Not to mention sitting there for 8 to 10 hours Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and that's, if you think about it, like, that's 20 hours out of your week. And then when do you farm? So it's been really nice to offer my friends, in addition to a place to sell their products, and my awesome customers who are also our friends, a great place to buy like locally sourced goods.